The New York Times says Trump has blinked and blinked again, softening his rhetoric on tariffs and whether the plans to oust Fed Chairman Jerome Powell will happen. Here's what he originally said about Powell and a couple of days later when asked if he still plans to fire him.
I don't think he's doing the job. He's too late, always too late, a little slow, and I'm not happy with him. I let him know it, and if I want him out, he'll be out of there real fast, believe me. None whatsoever. Never did. The press runs away with things. No, I have no intention of firing him.
Joining us now from Connecticut, Charlie Gasparino, senior correspondent with Fox Business Network. So, Charlie, are the Times and other media outlets right that the president, in the face of what's happening with the markets, is consciously toning down his rhetoric about tariffs and whether deals are going to be made?
You know, I hate to give the Times any credit because we were saying it well before them. The markets were the great equalizer here, particularly the bond market. When it looked like one night people were literally dumping our debt amid this whole tariff issue, that resulted in the pause. And listen, there's an economic reality here. If you're gonna, even though he's on very strong grounds about how we get screwed on trade, if you're gonna do this, if you're gonna really upend a huge portion of the economy, there's going to be some pain. And, we don't know how long that pain's going to last. And the American people generally hate pain. I mean, remember, he took over, Howie, because it was a pretty dysfunctional administration before in Biden and Harris. Open borders, cultural stuff like wokeism. American people wanted that to end. They did not want pain in terms of inflation and markets going nuts.
Yeah,
so,
who does?
I mean, that was the reality.
Well, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said on ABC that this is all media-driven because the market had a partial bounce back this week. But right. Meanwhile, he's also
because
down
they're
in the polls.
Off stuff.
Yeah,
because
they're
backing off stuff.
44%
right.
in the Fox poll, 39% in the Washington Post ABC poll. So is it because of the market's decline in the bond market, or is it because he's urged to do this by his billionaire buddies?
Well, I mean, why he did it is nothing to do with millionaire buddies or billionaire buddies. Why Trump is cutting deals. First off, I think deep down inside, he's a deal cutter. I mean, he likes to cut deals. So I think this was always in the back of his mind. Mm-hmm. I don't think that they expected this sort of massive market reaction that they had. I mean, I think that caught them completely off guard based on what I know. And I know a lot of people inside the administration, people on Wall Street who speak with them. That was surprising. And that caused the sort of more dramatic about face that occurred, the pause. Again, Howie, it's hard to argue with him on the facts. I mean, we get screwed on trade. The question is, how do you go about it? And right. The way they went about it initially, across the board, with everybody, throwing everybody in the same tank with China, really spooked the markets. And, you started adding it up. Tariffs add into extra costs, lower GDP.
Let me jump in because you just broke some news about the Trump White House and what Wall Street is being told. Explain.
Well, that, Wall Street's being told that there are deals coming. And by the way, those deals could come this week. There's nothing untoward with Wall Street being told this because, by the way, that's what from every administration that I've covered, from George H.W. Bush, shows you how old I am here, Howie, to Bill Clinton, to Barack Obama, to George W. Bush, they've all dealt with Wall Street and they talk to them about the markets and what's going on. Those are my sources. There's no insider trading here by no insider for me. This is like Mediaite ran something so absurd about this. It's absurd. And by the way, just here's how you know there was nothing untoward about this. Guess what moved the markets? Not the alleged insider trading. My tweet. No one traded on it. It's so stupid. But listen, there's going to be deals. I think if the White House had its druthers, this week will be it. If they had the druthers, they would have announced Japan earlier. Yeah. That sort of got held up. But what could we see this week? I think you could see something. Again, you never know because this is a moving target.
Sure.
Something with India, something with Japan, maybe South Korea, maybe Australia. The big kahuna, obviously, is China, and that's going to take a lot more time.
All right, Charlie, sit tight. We'll have you back a little later. But